Yeah, there's some platforms that have popped up. The most robust and probably the most trusted is Claire Data. Megan Caroon, so Clerdata. I don't know if you chatted with her, but she probably has the most robust platform for measuring it all. Because I mean, Amazon probably comes the closest, maybe Walmart, but the other 600 of them, they don't come close on the reporting, and you don't know what's working or how overlap or how you tie in traditional paid search or social, like what holistically is working when you spend your money and what is not. She's basically got the only platform right now, and it's because it's hard to plug in a bunch of disparate networks. There's ones that pop up, hey, we're AI driven and it's simple, and you plug it in.
Yeah.
You can't make it simple. You need to throw people, data scientists at it because every retailer is different and
And
how
then
they
you get
store their
into how
data.
clean is your data, right? And across all these various platforms. I mean, it's like if you're not working with clean data, I don't care what you have in terms of AI ML. Forget it. Talking to Joe Lux of Data Links, last week. I mean, it is unbelievable. The percentage, it's like 80 odd percent of all these big AI ML projects, they're dying because boards are wanting to go lean into this really, really hard and fast. And the reality is setting in. You know what? Our data lives in a dozen places, none of it's connected, and it's kind of messy in big organizations. And so another friend of mine, Pete Shea from Salvative, his point is you're going to have this fix it economy basically crop up out of AI ML, where you're going to have these cottage industries basically creating picks and shovels to go like sort of like Y2K, right? Like you remember that, where you just have this huge like cottage industry just pop up because you're going to have to fix these things because they're kind of broken.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting. So yes, and I'll just add on to it. The other thing that's harder for these new AI companies is so they will come in and they'll start. It's a fantastic idea, and they will train their module on a few different companies as they get going. A sponsor, and they get a discount and they get all the benefit. Well, they're actually training the AI on these companies. So then when you see the demo, you look at it like, that's amazing what you did there. Do it over here. When they go in and they plug it in, the data, like you say, now it's not in 3 different spots. It's in 4 separate spots. It's a different ERP. Maybe there is no ERP. Trying to pull data from QuickBooks and SAP at the same time. They're not the same. And you literally just trained it to do a very, very specific task, which is AI is amazing at. You can train it, hyper train it on a certain task in a certain company. Now, for those companies to make it work, they need to train an AI that trains itself on any new thing with somebody constantly overseeing it until it gets rolling, which probably would take 1 to 2 years. They'll say it doesn't. We can do it faster, but that
No,
seems to
no,
be
no, no.
what it
But
is.
no, stay on that if you would, because like there's and keep using this word. There's this irrational exuberance that this stuff's going to change like in a week or 2 weeks or whatever, and it isn't.
It
Like
can't.
it just isn't. This is going to take some time to get this right before we start, driving really fast with it.
Yeah, I mean, AI tools to help with your daily productivity. I just did a podcast with Danny Silverman on it. Just something simple, like how would you use ChatGPT on a daily basis, ins and outs of it. That is going to help people get more efficient. These overarching AI tools, to your point, they're only as good as the data that you put in. And not only does every company of size have completely disparate data and data sources, but they're different from company to company to company to company. It will take years just for all of those just to be figured out. It's not going to take a decade though. And that's where
No,
everybody's
and it
got to have
won't.
their eyes open. It's
Exactly
like,
right.
it won't take a decade, but
Right.
it's not going to be next week.
No, it's not.
But what's really interesting with the data lakes and data oceans is everybody was prepping for AI and getting all the data and just collecting it, but they weren't organizing it. And now there's this massive, yeah, to your saying, it's going to be up to cottage industry that comes in. I mean, if you had a consultancy that was really good at looking and organizing data, and maybe you use AI that you build for every company that you go into and you can set it up and start getting it organized. I mean, you might as well put $100 million in your pocket. My brain doesn't work that way. I wish it did. Like, I know what needs to be done. I just
You're
can't
more
code
of
it or
a
do any of
collector.
it. Yeah. And then I still want to go golfing with the kids
Yeah,
and
I
all that
get it.
other fun
I
stuff.
get it.
So the
You know,
extra time is not there right now.
yeah, I get it. I get it. Look, you're on, collecting data and this and that. Your mileage may vary. I'm just curious what you're hearing from brands out there in regards to the reason to be of a brand.com site. When we first got into this, the brand.com was always part temple of the brand, I think, but it was more cash register. And what I've seen